Thanks for listening to M&JO Talk. This podcast contains explicit language and adult content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
How are you, Jen?
I'm doing really, really well.
I am so glad to hear that. So, how is everything with your home life?
Really good. I have some exciting news.
Okay.
I'm moving soon.
Yes.
And I'm moving into the city, so we'll be closer.
Woo! So, you're going to be not out in the county anymore?
No.
Okay.
I'm getting out of the boondocks.
That's awesome, though. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Because it is nice to just be able to, just boot scoot wherever you need to go and not have to drive a whole hour. Because I used to live out in the county.
Oh, for sure.
The traffic, as soon as there's an accident on the road or a cotton truck or whatever, those cotton picker thingies, they're
I'm
blocking
behind John Deere's all the time.
and they always block both lanes somehow.
Yeah, those big ass.
Yeah,
things,
go somewhere else. Go on the way back roads. But anyways, I'm so happy to hear that this is your first home. No?
This is my first home.
Woo-hoo! My other friend, she just bought her first home too. I'm so excited for my homeowning friends. So I've had a good week. I've just been chilling, just babysitting like I was before, trying to do business with my CBD stuff.
Cool.
Trying to secure some positions. I am going to be tabling a really cool event. I don't know if I told you, up in Nashville.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'll be at the Airwave benefit concert, guys. Go August 10th in Nashville. It is going to benefit the Tennessee River Keepers, which is very, very important to understand that they are funding all of these lawsuits that we talked about in the environmental pollution ones, and then we revisited with the 3M dumping that happened recently, the expose that happened recently.
Right.
So they are the ones that are behind it. They're funneling it, and it's literally we the people. It's no big corporation. There's no conspiracy behind this. I swear to God, because if they had more money, they would do way more.
That's going to be the code word for tonight. Conspiracy theory.
So tonight we are going to be featuring our discussion about conspiracy theories. Because we started it online. If you guys don't know, follow our Instagram, M&Jo Talk. Follow our Facebook, M&Jo Talk page. It comes up right away. And you can also follow our YouTube. And there's cool interactive ways to tell us what you think we should talk more about. So we even gave the two things of conspiracy theories and sex taboos. And then now we're doing conspiracy theories because that was second best. And then from that, I gave another poll on what you want us to focus more on, which is Illuminati or we live in a simulation. And the we live in the simulation one, I don't know if the Facebook one, I think 2 people voted. I don't think anyone saw it.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of votes this time, but that's all right.
I'll promote it.
Next week will be a different chance to vote, and we have some really cool ideas. If you are on live right now, let us know if you would be interested in doing a Q&A. I think that'd be really cool. We're trying to figure out a way to have you guys contact us directly during a live so you can catch us on the spot and ask us anything you want.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome if you wanted to make a comment question or if you want to call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. You can be interactive as much as you want because this is not just our show. We're talking about the community and we're trying to incorporate a community sense and feel into discussions that we're all talking about anyways, so might as well just talk about it here.
That's correct. And if you are not on our Patreon, please go to patreon.com/M&Jo Talk, and for $1 a month, 1 peso, you can get all the exclusive content, all of the juicy stories, and
a whole extra show, guys.
Yeah.
Every single episode we record another episode.
So do that, please.
Yes. So it's always juicier, and it's always stuff we literally don't want anyone to know unless they're gonna pay $1.
And if you're on our live right now, then you get
to listen
the full thing.
Yeah, you do. So my background was conspiracy theories. I've always been a paranoid person because I know people can be manipulative, and I know lies are easy to grow and become bigger lies. And I also, like, learned about colonialism a lot, extensively. And I feel like that's a whole conspiracy.
Sure.
You know, like, white supremacy and all that is definitely a conspiracy and definitely something that has been propagated for a long time. So it's interesting because that's where my question of, like, can humanity actually control people and do terrible things just to try to get a benefit, a financial or something benefiting them? And I'm like, actually, colonialism already did that. Like, conquistadors did that.
It's been done.
Yeah.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, like they are definitely some dirty cats. So,
well, do you think people are good or bad?
I believe I just think there's so much trauma that happens to people, and that's what causes them to want to do bad. But I also know that people can sometimes have problems and just kind of not be the best person just from, I don't know, a young age for some reason. They just don't have the empathy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think can happen. But I don't know. I think they can be relatively good, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I think people are inherently bad.
Okay.
I think it's a societal thing, but also it's a nature versus nurture thing. In our society currently, you have to kind of look out for yourself or you won't be successful. And we're taught from an early age, if I don't look out for myself, no one will. So therefore, I think most people are inherently bad.
Okay. That's also, that's cultural. So do you think they're inherently bad because of the culture, or are they inherently bad before the culture instilled that in them?
Both.
Okay.
I don't think it was always that way.
Okay.
But
so
I think
there's been a transformation.
Right. I think currently it is that way.
Yeah. That makes sense. I always wonder about, like, conspiracies and, like, people controlling other people and doing, inherently bad things to other people, mass, groups of people. And, Ron Funches, he's a good comedian. You guys could go see him August 8th at the comedy club here in Huntsville.
Stand Up Live.
Go to Ron Funches. He's hilarious. He does this, like, hilarious giggle that is, like, is infectious. It's hilarious. Like, he giggles at his like, he just, like, this is a real giggle. Like, it's a hearty giggle. But anyways, he puts it this way. Guys, go see him August 8th.
Stand Up Live. Huntsville.
He's not getting his tickets sold because no one knows how funny he is. But once you go, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I spent that money. And I'm so glad I bought that stupid French fry.
Let's go.
Because they make you buy one thing. Two things, yeah.
It's a 2-drink minimum or something?
No, it's a 2-item minimum. That's why most people don't want to go. It's not that they don't want to see the comedian. It's that they don't want to deal with the bullshit at the comedy club.
And the food is expensive.
Yeah, so just share your snacks. The fries are cheaper. The fries are the best.
Bullet and buy the food.
I buy fries and a drink, and that's it. It's not that big of a deal, guys, and you're supporting a dude that is awesome. Anyways, I digress. Ron Funches puts it this way. He goes, I am a parent of one child, and that's all I'm in charge of. And I lied to that kid all the freaking time. Like, just all the damn time about a bunch of different things. And I have to lie to him because, either to protect him or just to keep him aware of something so he doesn't get into it, whatever it may be. And I'm like, wow, like, you're right. And he's like, I'm only in charge of one freaking kid. The government is in charge of how many people? Like, think about it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that is a lot of, like, people to have to control and manipulate. Because I'd say this, I'm a good teacher, but I also have to be a master manipulator. Because you have to be able to deal with all these different personalities, get them to feel like they're fulfilling their role, and also getting the show on the road.
So does that make you good or bad?
See, I feel like my intentions are good.
Right.
So that makes me good. I feel like I have to manipulate in order to keep order. But that's also, you could say about a lot of these conspiracy theories. Are they doing that to keep order? Or
Absolutely.
are they keeping disorder?
Both. Disorder to make order for an agenda.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Illuminati real fast. Real quick, she gave me the whole rundown. I've read all the different articles, watched all the crazy videos. I watched this guy talk about Illuminati for, like, oh my God, 3 hours, I think, total. My head is hurting, guys.
You went down the rabbit hole.
I went down for you guys. I did this when I was, like, 15, 16, when I first found the internet, like, on my own, like, I'm learning all about this. And then I got disinterested real fast about the Illuminati. I just didn't care after a while. And then, and a lot of people I talk to, okay, this is a weird side note. People that talk about conspiracy theories a lot, I'm gonna tap because I got my nails done. They do the little ellipsis. They do all the little dots at the end. They never finish their fucking sentence. I've seen people do that. They're like, dot, 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 dot. Why is it always like this? Why is the gemstone this color? Dot, 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 dot. Blah, 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 blah. Like, they never finish a sentence with a period. Anyways, that's how they talk in the videos. It's very, like, just random, like I do. But, like they're trying to convince you of a world order. So, I'm not trying to convince you of that, guys. I'm just saying my own thoughts. So, the conspiracy theories of Illuminati never really were woven together.
For you.
For me.
Because you got bits and pieces.
I got bits and pieces, but, like, I just didn't care about putting it together. I kind of put it together, but I was like, whatever. It's not that important. That's how I felt. So, Jen actually ran it down for me, actually last week, but we can talk about it again this week. How would you quickly summarize the theory and conspiracy of the Illuminati?
So I would say first that the Illuminati is a trigger word now. They have made it to where, and they, as in the Illuminati, have made that word a trigger word. So when you hear Illuminati, the first thing you do is go, oh, she's a nut job. She has no idea what she's talking about. She's a lunatic. She's crazy. Mm-hmm. That you don't automatically think, oh, maybe she's a free thinker. Maybe she's thinking outside of the box. Okay, so with that being said, have an open mind.
Designation.
Yeah, have an open mind with this topic before we even continue, because we're going to say some things that are probably a little spooky, a little weird, and a little different. But that's what makes this podcast so great. So, to summarize Illuminati, Illuminati is a group of people that have an agenda, which would be a new world order. And that means that there is one world currency. That means that there is a population decrease. That means that everything you do, from the clothes that you wear to the things that you say to the songs that you sing, have been controlled by someone above normal people.
Okay, that's the theory.
That's the theory.
So, like, I always want to know more details about the theory, but it's like an ever-expanding idea, and we don't know the exact details because it's shrouded in secrecy. But then why would they use so much symbolism in the public sphere? You know, like, I watch videos and they say, you know, the symbolism's everywhere. The triangles are there. And people doing their, you know, hands like that, like with their fingers making a triangle. When they do certain colors, certain dance moves. The one that did freak me out was the dance of death, the Kali dance, which I could see it being a cultural thing, but, like, why the death dance? And when Beyonce did that dance, I can't remember the name of the music video, but it gives me the chills. She was on the patio outside on a hotel, and she does, like, her little dancing. It's like they were, like, doing behind the scenes, like, music video style, but it was a music video.
Right.
And she did the death dance. Like, they showed it side by side, the Kali death dance. That's the dance she does right before she kills someone. I don't remember. But it's like a Hindu, you know, it's a Hindu mysticism thing. So it's like it's grabbing from power from different belief systems. Is that what you would say is the basis of their belief system? Is they're taking all the things that require power and domination and control from different, like, because I've heard about being from Christianity or being from, you know, like, I didn't know what background they derived this secret group from and their tenets from.
So what we're talking about is subliminal messaging, and in the conspiracy world we call that MK Ultra mind control, and basically what that is repetitious behavior, words, sayings, phrases, dances that are repeated multiple times to where you see it as something that's normal.
Okay. And what is it supposed to do to the person?
Well,
what effect is it supposed to have? That's my question.
Oh, the effects. Basically, it's whatever agenda is put in front of us, okay? So if Beyonce does a Pepsi commercial, maybe everybody will go buy Pepsi. It's control of
Would you say that's almost just human nature, though? Human psychology? Like, they're just tapping into humans, because
It is human psychology. It
Yeah.
definitely is. MK Ultra mind control was started back in I want to say the 50s, and I don't know for sure. I should have pulled that up before we started.
Yeah.
It was a government thing, right? So
Yeah.
they figured out, okay, if we torture you till you just about want to die, and then we tell you to believe certain things, and we repeat these certain things to you, and we say certain trigger words that are going to make you do certain things, then you're completely broken down, and you will do what we want.
Interesting.
If I want to say it was Operation Paperclip, but that
Yeah, I think I've heard that before.
I think that's what it was called, and you can look it up. But it's also called the Monarch Project.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've heard of that.
MK Ultra
He
Mind
had a
Control.
whole thing about monarch butterflies and their symbolism. That was very interesting, because there was supposedly a bone that connects all of your pieces of your skull in place, and it's shaped like a butterfly
Yeah.
wing, and they said that's where you see all your visual input comes through there, and like basically that's your epicenter of your processing.
A lot of conspiracy theorists ventured to ask, are what we even seeing, is what we're really seeing real?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a simulation?
So could that be part of the Illuminati conspiracy? Is that we are a simulation?
Oh, definitely, for sure. And that's far-fetched, but it definitely is talked about a lot in the conspiracy world.
So they're both connected. They're both basically not separate topics.
No,
They're
not
still
at all.
connected. Interesting. So my thing is like I've looked into the simulation theory, and I've wondered, well, we play Sims and we simulate humans very quickly. Back to Sims, guys. My whole life philosophy is on Sims. And that's kind of freaky, because I'm like, that's a computer game, but whatever. If you watch it, like, you can simulate a lot of human behaviors, and they can seem very human-like, and they can all of a sudden have free will. And I feel like they made the game to, like, let us know that we're in the same situation. They're like, look, we can make this game of simulated humans. You guys are being just as simulated. Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being...
No. Like I said, it's okay to be a free thinker right now. It's okay to think outside of the box right now, because who's to say you're not right or wrong?
Yeah.
Does it matter? No, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because I don't think that we'll ever know.
Yeah, you think it's always going to be a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for instance, okay, in that movie, was it Pets? The Secret Life of Pets?
Yeah, I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay. When they were running through an area, there was a poster of Sing or something like that. The other animation is like Pixar or something.
Oh, okay.
And only a handful of people who saw that movie noticed that.
Noticed it.
And they noticed that, okay, maybe it was something coming up. And I'm not really sure if it was Secret Life of Pets or if it was vice versa. But that's a good example of what happens to us on a daily basis. There's things put right in front of us that we don't even realize are pre-planned, so to speak.
Yeah, because we can only really remember 5 to 7 bits of information at a time. And if you're inundated with more than 5 to 7 bits of information, it doesn't mean that you're not processing it somewhere. You're not consciously processing it, but you're subconsciously processing it. The only thing that scares me about all this mind control shit is that, going back to neuroscience and everything I know about the brain, we know the least amount of information about our subconscious brain. We know more about deep space and deep sea exploration than we have ever known about our own freaking brain and how the subconscious mind works.
Well, even with genetics, we only know 5% of
Yeah.
our genes. 5%. We don't even know enough about ourselves.
That's wild.
It is.
So
Wow.
if you don't know, like, I've talked about this before with other things. It's like, if you don't know your rights, how do you know to exercise them? Like, if you don't know what you're capable of, how do you exercise it? Well, you don't. You stay in a perpetual state of bullcrap. But, like, I still am, like, a hard, true believer that this is not the way to live. Like there's going to be an awakening, and, like, maybe we don't know everything, but these powers that are trying to control people, like, there's definitely mass mind control going on. I would have to say, because we would definitely not be putting up with any of this bullshit. Like, I feel like Iceland, I know they're not real they're considered democratic, but the way they run their freaking government is how, if everyone was a free thinker and an open thinker, they would be running it that way. Iceland, like, they had people try to take over their government, take over their banking system, but they revolted. And they did not stop until they were in jail. Like, they would not stop fucking protesting. Puerto Ricans, they're very similar. Like, they've been dealing with colonialism for so long. They've been in the streets, like 500,000 people out in San Juan just protesting. So I think there's still vestiges of that ability to awaken. And I've also talked about the Native American, genocide. There was a genocide that happened, and it was on purpose. I feel like it's because Native Americans were free thinkers, and they also cared for the community more than the self. And if you have that, then that's an unbreakable bond. And so they've literally had to kill people off with biological warfare to stop that bond.
And that is scary.
Yeah.
I agree. And just for example, my daughter, who is 15, has told me many, many, many times that her peers want to be able to communicate with her, but can't, because they don't know how, and they don't have any empathy. And I think that's even scarier than conspiracy theory itself, because that goes to show you it's a result. Mm-hmm. And it's a definite. She says that they sit next to each other, but instead of having communication, they would rather text.
That's so odd. Ugh.
And these young people, they can see murder, and they see murder on TV, and they in the news, they see all these horrible
videos,
all the videos, and they have no remorse, none, at all. And I think that's even scarier than what would be conspiracy theory.
I've been telling parents for a long time, get your kids off the devices. Or if you're roaming on devices, make sure it's only educational, make sure it's very well vetted, make sure you played with the app first.
Parental controls.
Like, you've got to put in the effort a little bit, guys. Like, you would read a toy to see there's no chokeable, pieces, oh god, this isn't for little kids, sorry. Like, there's a piece you'd definitely choke on if you played with this too hard. It'll break off and you'll choke on it. They'll say it on there. No one, 2 years and under, a slash through it. Like, you would do the same thing. I would do the same thing for my kids. Like, hey, let me see the video you're watching. Let me see those apps that you like to play with. I want to look at those first before you even download it. And I want to play with you and I check on what you're doing and make it an interactive thing. If you're using technology, use it to grow your mind, not to be a distraction, and not to allow your child to be manipulated. Because that's what is happening. That marketing is like instant gratification. When you click on something on your phone and you open something up, even if it's just a game, all those advertisements and games, I feel like they're doing it definitely to control how people think. Well, not and make a lot of money off of it.
Not even games, but social media. The like button was created so that when somebody pressed that like button and you saw that you got a like, or you got a heart, or you got a smiley face, or some kind of attention, that you release these chemicals in your brain, the same chemicals that are released when you kiss someone, when you hug someone, when you have an intimate connection, or, even a platonic connection, whatever it would be. It's wild. So that's a conspiracy in and of itself. Damn. Because what are we doing to the psyche if we're seeking likes for attention? But this week was a perfect week to bring up conspiracy theory, because we've got people that, is this real, that want to take over Area 51.
Yeah, I think it was a joke. I don't know. I think it was a joke that got propagated by media. I think it was like literally a 4chan joke. They're like, "Yo, let's go raid it," and then all of a sudden, like, the media is like, "People are gonna raid Area 51." And I feel like it's just I think there's distractions that happen in our major news outlets. It's very obvious. Like, we could definitely report on, like, super important things, and they just choose not to. I'm not saying that there's not reporters that do. There's amazing reporters out there. They're independent, and they work their butt off, and they're just like us. They are tired of the bull crap, and they want to be heard. They want the stories of the people to be heard, but no one's giving them money. Everyone's giving money. The big media corporations are giving the big checks out. So you report on what they tell you to report on.
Well, if in fact they are going to storm Area 51, they probably won't make it.
They're just gonna never used to.
It is a military base.
They'll be stopped before they even go on any roads near it. Stupid.
One Thanksgiving, my husband was talking to my great uncle who worked at the Pentagon. He was pretty high up in the military. I don't know exactly what he did because he never could tell me.
Yeah.
And my husband jokingly asked him, "Is there an Area 51?" And without even a split second of thought, my uncle looks him dead in the eye and says, "Well, there's a lot of areas. There's Area 52, Area 49, Area 31, Area 29." And so I never got that answer. But I've always wanted to know, is there extraterrestrial life? It's hard for me to believe that we are the only entity ever created.
I've thought about this, and I'm kind of in the theory that we had definitely descended from some kind of alien intertwining. But I think there's different races.
Of alien?
Oh yeah, in each of us. Like I think all of us are like animated by like almost like we've got extra DNA components from different races. Yeah, I think it was a war on DNA at one point. To see how many they could infiltrate, and that's why I think there's a majority of people that are like sociopathic and stuff like right now.
So there's a group of people called the Basque people, Bacque, I think. I'm not sure. And for a long time, scientists could not figure out where their DNA came from. It didn't match any of the surrounding areas, and they thought for sure that they were some kind of alien or some kind of extraterrestrial. Okay. They have their own language that nobody can interpret, and they have their own beliefs that don't mimic anything around them.
Interesting.
So recently, they found out that they were descendants of, I don't know exactly what it is, but that they weren't these alien people, and that they were...
Yeah, they're indigenous people, yeah.
So, that's kind of interesting, because they were one of the first groups of people that I'd ever heard about that they were... Because they all have, like, O negative blood, and they're Rh negative, and that's a weird blood type, and some people speculate that there is some power to blood, which is also hard for me to disagree with. It is our life source.
I always wondered why they want us to always donate blood for free, but there's like a lot of money in selling blood. Like, they're just in general, like the business of selling blood. So I always wondered if they did other stuff. I'm kind of a paranoid person. I won't do genetic testing. I refuse to let them have my genes.
Well,
you can't have my shit, guys. You have to pay me for it, and you have to pay me a lot of money. I'm not giving this shit up for free.
I did genetic testing because we were trying to find out my children's diagnosis. Because for a long time, they just diagnosed them with cerebral palsy, but we knew that there might be a chance that there was something else. So I did me and my husband and my two of my children did full panels. So they have all of my DNA. And also I did the ancestry
stuff, yeah.
DNA. So my stuff is out there for the world, but...
Yeah,
I'm not scared.
You wanted the information more than you were paranoid. And I if I was kid involved, I know I would change my mind, because it's not just about me at that point. So maybe I am self-serving, but I wanted someone else is in danger or peril, I'll work for them. So yeah, I think there's a lot of different interesting things. Aliens are a whole nother topic. The simulation, that's another thing, is like, if we're in a simulation, is it controlled by alien beings? Is it controlled by a robotic entity? But is that an alien? What is considered life? What do you have to be alive or not alive?
A pulse.
So this actually goes into a little bit, guys. I can do Reiki on computers. That's why when these fuck up, I take it personal. When my computers fuck up, I get really personally offended. I know it's doing it because something's going on. And I've had a computer die on me. All the guys I've dated are good at working with computers. And all of them are very technical, very smart with it. But my ex literally worked on computers for his living. Very smart. He could never not fix a computer. He would tell you, either you need to replace this part or something like that. He always knew how to fix it. He was a genius. And my computer went blue screen of death, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're fucked. You're just gonna have to redo the whole. We're gonna have to get you a new computer and redo your drive or whatever, a bunch of stuff." And I was like, no, I can't. Like, I have a paper on this computer I didn't email yet. And he's like, I'm like, it's saved on the hard drive. I have to have this paper. Like, it's due tomorrow or due today or something stupid like that. And he's like, well, you're fucked. Like, you're gonna have to start retyping it now. Like, he told me to give up. He's like, I'm sorry, there's no way. I would salvage this if I could. I promise. I fix a lot of people's computers. I can't fix this, Emily. This is broken. Like, we can't fix it. We're gonna have to take it apart to fix this, and you're gonna lose your shit. And I'm like, no! And I put my hands on the computer, and I just prayed. I was like, please, I just need to turn this paper in. I love you, computer. I understand what I put you through. I know you're tired of my shit. And like, I went on and on and on. And did a whole seance with my stupid laptop. Turn it on. I was like, please, baby, please. I turned it on again. And it just booted up. It booted up just fine. Not one fucking hitch. And he was like, what the hell? He saw the whole thing go on. He's like, what the hell? I've never seen that happen. He's like, that's impossible. Like, it gives me the chills. So he's like, he was in shock. And he didn't believe in a lot of stuff. He was like, what? Like, you didn't just fix that with just power. And then so I when I did my Reiki training, my Reiki teacher, my Reiki master was like, yeah, you can do Reiki on electronics. They have electromagnetic
energy
impulses. Yeah, energy, just like we do. It's the electromagnetic. So is it the electromagneticism that makes life? Is it more than just cells? Is it more than just that? Is it our ability to literally pulsate? Like a star? Is a star alive because it pulsates? It has energy? Is it not? Like, my question is, like, it goes back to what you define as alive and what you define as not alive. And is a simulation not truly living in that way then? If it's just a bunch of it's a bunch of electromagnetic radiation and, you know, information that we're just processing at all times. Well, aren't we almost like robots in that way?
Maybe at the core, because everything has to have some kind of source of energy.
So does that mean everything is a simulation in that way?
Oh, Emily, I don't know.
Down the rabbit hole. So, before we leave, excuse me, I'm burping. Sorry, I had Caesar salad. Probably nasty burp. Sorry about that. Elon Musk has come up with his thing about being in a simulation. I will add that YouTube link. But Elon Musk also he thinks that we are living in a simulation. And like someone told me before, dude, Elon Musk is such a fucking robot.
He looks like a robot.
He does, like, his hair grew back randomly. Like, he got some good plugs.
He got some plugs, and they stayed.
That's wild. Like, that's almost robotic.
He could pay for the good plugs.
I know, he's a billionaire. It's like, but he has a company where he does bioengineering, and he believes, even though he's warned that AI is going to take over, he also is making a thread that can go in your brain. The brain. Sorry, Lisa, I can't see you. Oh no, sorry, people. I thought people were commenting. He just found. I just saw it somewhere, but he's making Neuralink. Neuralink is his company, and he's gonna be threading together AI technology. Like, so you're enhanced as a person in your brain. So you'll have AI capabilities, but you'll still have your brain working. So my thing is like, if he's the one warning us about all this AI, why the hell is he installing this shit in my brain, huh?
I don't know. That's some Terminator stuff, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm like, this is wild. I don't think it's a good idea, Elon. We probably don't need to make us any more capable of killing people. But maybe that's his whole thing. I don't know. He wants brain-machine interfaces to connect human and computers. I don't know. He's gonna do some crazy shit. He's like warning about the apocalypse, but he's like, hey, I'm gonna help y'all. Let's set this bitch off. Let's have the apocalypse start, and now. So I don't know. I think there is some scary stuff going on, guys. Like, this isn't science fiction anymore. And like Jen said, it's kind of the basis of human psychology to be manipulated by things that make you feel like you're more powerful, make you feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself, Really, you can do that spiritually without ever buying a thing, guys. Yeah, I don't barely buy, like, these clothes I bought, like, so long ago. This is Stitch Fix. I send it back. If I want to try anything new, I just do, like, the little subscription, so I don't have to buy anything. I just try it on, I send it back. I don't, because sometimes I do want to see what new things will fit like, but that's it. I don't care about fashion. I care about comfort. I care about, like, not having chafing legs, you know? Like,
what were we talking about earlier? Oh, the depreciation value of clothes. So, guys, if you did not know, and this is true, and you can look it up, and any minimalist will tell you this. I'm not personally a minimalist, but it is a known fact. Clothes have more of a depreciation value than cars. That is true. That means if you take that article of clothing off of the shelf or off of the hanger and then you purchase it, you might not even get 10% back. It is the most disregarded, thrown away object currently. In excess.
And it's an industry that a lot of people spent a lot of money trying to find gratification through. And it's sad because I'm like, yeah, I just got my, like, coworker. She don't, like, her daughter is a shopaholic, and she's like, you're not gonna wear half these clothes. I'm gonna take these to Emily. And then she takes them to me, and I get new shoes, I get new clothes. I'm not saying, like, I have to take other people's stuff, but if you're thrifty enough, you'll find a way to not spend a crap ton of money, because no one gives a shit what you're wearing anyways, and if they do, they're not worth being your friend anyways. So that's my thing. Conspiracy theories, they exist, they're real, but maybe all the facts are not there. We're going to go on to our Patreon episode now. So, Toodles, buy $1 access to the next show. If I can get I have 2 screens up, so.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Em and Joe Talk is sponsored in part by Cannafield Distribution. CBD products have been proven to support digestive health, skin irritation, immune response, neurological function, along with promoting bone density and reducing inflammation, and more. Folks, if you're considering CBD products into your daily routine, then consider checking out the oils and creams provided by Cannafield Distribution. Cannafield Distribution is currently offering 0% THC tinctures for as low as $34.99. Go to cannafielddistribution.com to check out their 0% THC CBD product line.